I am Eon. It is Monday, October 20th, 2025 as I record. Let's look back at fantasy releases for the month of October 2025. First up, we're going to talk about Avatars of War. Now, we have here the Mama Troll, and the Mama Troll is pretty beastly in my opinion, but I kind of like this model. I think it fits the theme pretty well. I can see her on her palanquin here sitting there saying, "I'm on my way to get my pedicure." And boy, does she need it. Custom Miniature Maker has put out these jack-o'-lantern characters, these little pumpkin head folks. They come with some custom pumpkin bases that I think are pretty neat. If you don't like that and want something a little more macabre, they also have put out these skull bases as well. In typical Custom Miniature Maker, out of the blue from left field is coins. Now, the way Custom Miniature Maker does things is typically with a texture roller. So you print off the roller and you print off these cutters, you roll out a piece of clay, and you roll out the coins and then cut them out. Then you get to paint them as gold or silver or copper, bronze, whatever it is that your world uses, and you have a set of unique coins perfect for your world. Dark Realms is impressing this month with Mythalore. This is inspired by Myth Draenor, for those of you that are familiar with that, a Phaeron of the Forgotten Realms. And this is where elves live along with humans and dwarves. These is Elven Homes 1 and 2, Dwarven Homes 1 and 2, simple and unique. If you watch Modded Minecraft and Direwolf 20, you might be familiar with a 9x9. I could easily see this being adapted to those. And for Human House number 1, hopefully we'll see another one, but these are just nice looking general houses. Davale Games has put out Swan Warrior with Trumpet and Danher on foot. Danner. But in addition, for their terrain, they have put out the pirate ship Destroyed and some props from the pirate ship that have probably been scattered to the winds. We don't always get to see Deathpunk Studios, but thankfully we do this month. They are doing gnolls. We see Grash Bloodmaw and Ashra, Oracle of the Blaze. And she's blazing up in her hand right there. There's also Gnoll Raider Pack and Gnoll Archer Pack, and I apologize, that's a mistake on my part for going too far off the slide there. I was trying to include everything that I could in one place. Ghamak is going through their legal battles, so we're not going to feature too much of their stuff here, unfortunately, which is a crying shame. But they do have this Halloween diorama, along with some additional things to look at with this. So, of course, here's our vampire knight that as well, and a couple of his skeleton guards seem to be dragging his next meal, or, ooh, okay, she's got 2 holes in her neck. Do y'all see that? Let me try a new feature here I didn't realize I could do. But yeah, she's got some holes here in her neck. So that's pretty interesting to look at. And of course, what's a vampire without an angry mob nearby, right? Good Freakin Miniatures is doing the Black Fang Uprising. This is a bunch of orcs, essentially, with different mounts in some places. Here's Throg and Rukmar, and several different angles of the same model. And then here are several, I don't know what to call these. They're mounts on these ape-like lizard creature things. Drogoth, Morgs, Skarn, and Grushok. And then here we have a bunch of Black Fang orcs. Gaznuk, Varnok, Krum, Mercs, and Zargle, Thag, Urgoth, Brug, and Loktar. Highlands Miniatures has pretty much given us the full Transylvania, the Fallen Realm, Monsters of the Crypt release, along with some printed miniatures. Always fun to look at those. 12 zombies, including a musician and champion. 3 sets of bat swarms. 3 ghost swarms, 1 pit bat. These are, I'm pretty sure, crypt ghouls. And I may be wrong on these last 2. These are crypt bats, I believe. But there's a lot of tombstone stuff on these, so these could be the crypt bats, and those could have been the giant bats. But I feel like these look more like regular bats, so I said giant bats. I don't know. One or the other. Kyoushuneko Miniatures has given us a look at their fantasy release, the first batch released here. Very heavily armored characters here. Miniature Land has shown us Colonial Patrol Bridge, a Desert Boyer, Chaos Altar, complete with Chaos Stone, a Peasant's Cottage, an Ancient Roman Temple. I mean, all together, right? And a ruined Imperial District. Perfect for a game of Mordheim, I bet. Moonlight Minis has given us this overall reach here of Gravenreach Part 2. Seems to be vampire themed. Always neat to see the releases from Moonlight Minis. I wish they released better images that I could share with you, because I'd like to see them myself. Stationforge Legacy's put out a couple of releases so far. Here we have the Thorncrest Hunter's Sisters. I really like the look of the archers here. I think they're really well done. If you prefer a more of a gunpowder sort, there are several with rifles. And again, your classic done. And I do like the granny with the Doberman. That is a ferocious granny. The dog's not too bad either. In addition, there's the Bodkin Gobs. Lots of different weapon options and, what's the word I'm looking for? Costume options, I suppose. I like the obsidian look to that blade on that axe. And even there, like a lot of really jagged edges there. Studio Fantasms is kind of, I think they're channeling their inner Lovecraft. Here's an eyeball monster. This is a mannequin spider. This is a Nukkalavi. Apparently centerpiece horror, half horse, half rider, all nightmare. This is a monster sheep, cute until it starts to scream. An Oblex, ooze with a mind of its own. A false Hydra, the creature you forget even as it devours your friends. And then the scariest of them all, the Taxman, the real monster you can't hide from him. White Werewolf Tavern usually puts out a bonus release around Halloween, and they are not disappointing this year with Nitsa Riot. So she comes with her own broomstick, kind of a modern-ist sort of witch, along with a bust version of her too. Wildmesh has put out their release. This seems to be either fantasy or science fiction if you would so wish. There's Ferox the Banished. I could see this being a sci-fi release, but it's close enough for fantasy, along with these beasts, and there we have the Scythe fantasy here. Witchguild has done a bonus miniature in October. This is apparently a seasonal mini, and this is the Blight Crone. Witchsong Miniatures has done similar. This is the Corpse Harvester, also again a seasonal miniature. Well, folks, that is just under 10 minutes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.